Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Malloy, and this is lecture 4.3, the Persian Empire. Alright, so we've already learned about how incredibly tolerant the Persians were of other cultures and belief systems. Well, the Persians had a unique advantage of not only having been tolerant, but they also conquered the former Assyrian Empire and the Chaldeans, groups that we've already learned about, who were incredibly aggressive to the people that they conquered. By taking over the Chaldeans, the Persians were literally regarded as saviors by those that they conquered. Can you imagine? Wow, when you're getting conquered by yet another group, if that's preferable to being ruled by the Assyrians or Chaldeans? Yeah, so that must have been a pretty sweet empire to belong to. The Persians set up one of the most massive empires of the ancient world. They were known for their diplomatic skills as well, meaning they got along with their neighbors and played nice in the sandbox on the playground. The Persians were also well known for the tolerance they showed the groups of people they conquered. The Persians, like many groups of people in this part of Asia, were of Indo-European origin. Persian is a great example of an Indo-European language. The Persians eventually conquered the Medes people and the Chaldean people to start their empire-building process. Under the leadership and military genius of Cyrus the Great, Persia conquered the neighboring territory of Medes, which included the Mesopotamian capital of Babylon. Cyrus will eventually gain an empire that spanned for over 2,000 miles. Cyrus's military ability and subsequent tolerance of those that he conquered became legendary. It is said that once Cyrus conquered an area, he would go to local temples and pray with the locals in support of their gods. By allowing people to practice and keep their own belief systems, and by showing his respect for varying beliefs, Cyrus became beloved by even his fiercest critics. One of the groups for whom Cyrus is credited with showing his tolerance included the Jews. Many passages from the Torah or the Old Testament of the Bible speak of this tolerance towards the Jews and the subsequent love and adoration of his people. Cyrus allowed the Jews to rebuild their temple, and remember King Solomon's temple that was destroyed by the Babylonians under the Chaldean king Nebuchadnezzar? Yeah, that one. Some credit Cyrus the Great for ending the Babylonian captivity of the Jews. Cyrus, unfortunately, later died in battle. His son, Cambyses II, took over and continued the expansion of the Persian Empire. Cambyses conquered Egypt, but was not as well liked as his father, in that he did not show a great deal of tolerance for the Egyptians' belief, burning their temples and such. It was Darius I, Cambyses' successor, who was actually a distant cousin of Cyrus, who showed more tolerance and once again brought greatness to the Persian Empire. Darius stabilized the Persian Empire and established a military machine of elite soldiers called the 10,000 Immortals. Darius was considered a well-organized and efficient leader. His government set up an administration that was effectively able to collect taxes. The Persian Empire included local governors in 20 different provinces or states. These local leaders were called satraps. In addition to these local governors who administered law and order, there were local tax collectors and military leaders. Darius also had a large group of spies who served as the, quote, eyes and ears of his empire. Darius also helped create an amazing transportation network. Like the Phoenicians, who had set up ports 30 miles apart in their empire, Darius created what became known as the Royal Road. The Royal Road was a 1,500-mile-long trade route with pit stops located every 20 miles, where people could rest and trade their horses in for fresh ones. Think of the Royal Road as an efficient throughway system with rest stops. This allowed for quick communication and trade during pre-internet times. Darius is also credited with standardizing his currency. Darius was unable to conquer Greece, however, and despite expanding the Persian Empire, was not able to expand further northwest. The Persians are also often given credit for the world's first monotheistic belief system, called Zoroastrianism. Zoroastro was a Persian prophet who believed that life was a fight between good and evil. Everyone is faced with this struggle, he believed. Zoroastrians believed in one god, called Ahura Mazda. Zoroastrians believed that one day everyone would be judged by their actions, sort of like a day of reckoning when Ahura Mazda, or God, would judge everyone for their deeds. Zoroastrians seem to have developed the concept of evil, or Satan, and a belief in angels. This is not unlike beliefs found in 3 of the world's most well-known monotheistic religions, including Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The Zoroastrian religion went into decline with the fall of the Persians, as well as the emergence of other monotheistic belief systems. Parts of Zoroastrianism were later practiced by members of the Roman Empire and also spread as far away as India. There are still followers to this day in both Iran and India. The Persians, unfortunately, were later defeated by the Greeks under the Hellenistic rule of Alexander the Great. But more on Xerxes and Darius III later. Peace out.